History 1. Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus was born in Genoa on October 31st, 1451. At that time, the people of Europe only knew about the continents of Europe, Asia, and Africa. Columbus spent much of his life sailing. He also read astronomy, geography, and history. He was inspired by the writings of Marco Polo and his tales of adventure in the East. From the lands in the East came spices, which were greatly desired in Europe and difficult to obtain. Such spices were expensive in Europe, so an easier trade route to the East would have immense value. For this reason, Columbus planned to sail west around the world in order to reach the lands to the East, which were called the Indies. Columbus believed that discovering such a route would make him rich. There were differing opinions on the size of the earth and the distance of such a voyage. Columbus believed that the world was small and that the journey to the Indies was possible. He approached the leaders of several nations to get funding for his voyage west and was repeatedly denied. Advisors told their leaders that the journey was too long and that the earth was much larger than what Columbus thought. Columbus approached the king and queen of Spain repeatedly. They were reluctant, but eventually agreed to help Christopher Columbus. They hoped that he could find new lands and convert the inhabitants to the Catholic religion. So, on August 3rd, 1492, Christopher Columbus set out on his westward journey from Palos, Spain. He sailed with a crew of roughly 100 men and 3 small ships, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. On his way, Columbus stopped by the Canary Islands. There he had his ship repaired and restocked with provisions. On September 6, 1492, he left the Canary Islands and sailed west out into the unknown. As they sailed further and further out, the darkness and emptiness overtook his crew, and they grew ever more afraid. They wanted desperately to turn back. Christopher Columbus remained resolute and unafraid, and he did his best to comfort his men as they sailed day after day into nothingness. Eventually, they spotted land, and on October 12, 1492, they landed on an island in the New World, the American continents. There, Columbus met a group of natives who lived on the island. Since Columbus believed that he had landed in the Indies, he called the people there Indians. Columbus eagerly befriended the Indians, for as he wrote in his logbook, "In order to win their friendship, since I knew they were a people to be converted and won to our holy faith by love and friendship rather than by force, I gave some of them red caps and glass beads which they hung round their necks, also many other trifles. These things pleased them greatly, and they became marvelously friendly to us." Columbus then traveled to other nearby islands, and eventually returned to Spain. He would journey to the New World 4 times in all, but he always believed that he had sailed to the Indies in Asia. It was another explorer who would realize that the land was not the Indies at all, but an undiscovered new land. That man was Amerigo Vespucci, for whom the New World would be named. As with many great discoveries, Columbus found the New World by accident. Through his courage and persistence, he followed his desires and discovered a new world, rather than a mere trade route. Columbus's journeys continued to inspire other explorers, much as Marco Polo had inspired him. In time, these explorers and their voyages would unite the entire world.